Okay, so now I'm going to show you the flow of execution and how I can control. Now, if you see this statement, I have written some kind of code here. If you see, if this is my logic or my Apex program, I can say this program, whatever I'm writing, it's just 6 lines of code. So now if I have these 6 lines of code, how this is going to be executed in the system? Let me make one small diagram for you. Okay. So if I go here, let's consider this is the 6 line of code I had here. Okay. So just think this is my 6 lines of code. Let me remove this final part also. This is my number and this initially something like this. I have my few lines of code. Okay. So now whenever this execution happens, whenever I'm going to execute this piece of code on the system, how this execution happens in the system. So now this piece of code, whatever we have written here, it is executed by my Apex runtime engine, correct? So there is something called Apex runtime engine. We don't need to worry about that. What is that runtime engine do? But to make you understand what I'm saying, there is a runtime engine, or you can see there is somewhere somebody on my system who is executing my logic or my program what we have written, which we have stored on my metadata server. So now what happened? Always remember the program what you have written. Always my program runs like this. It will read my statement. This statement execution complete. Then go to next statement. Okay, it's complete. Then go to next. Like this, it will execute always line by line. So what happened? Always my execution happens line by line. In normal flow, always remember execution happens line by line. So complete one line, then go to next line, then go to next line like this. So each line is going to be processed one by one. Normally, if you don't import any control statement, anything, whatever the logic we are going to write, it will execute one by one. Let's consider conditionally what I want. I do not want to execute these 2 line of code, okay, if in a particular condition, okay, or it may happen. See, I want, okay, my execution should continue like this, but I want, okay, execution come till this, then do not execute these 2 statements based on a condition, then continue it. I just want these 2 statements execution should be stopped. Okay, so based on some conditions. And also sometimes I may need, okay, we have these 4 different statements. Let me see. These 2 statements I want to run 10 times in my system. I want to run 10 times. Okay, so that means normal flow of execution always line by line, but I want to control these 2 lines to execute repeatedly, to execute again and again. Okay, so or some statements I want to skip. I do not want to execute that at all for a particular condition. So we want to control the flow of the execution. So when I say I want to control the flow of execution, which usually happens line by line, but I want to control, how we can control? To control any flow of execution, okay, what you can do, you have if else condition, we can write some if else, we can use the switch statement also, we can use the looping statement also. Okay, so if else nothing but it's saying, okay, if my particular condition satisfies, then execute these 2 statements. That time I can use my if else condition. Else do something else. Like if I say if you join by 7, then we'll start the session for 2 hours. If you join at 7:15, we may stop the session that day. Okay. So if else, or if you practice this question, then in the next session I will tell you some other advanced examples. Else I will skip this topic. Okay, so that's conditionally I am going to execute something. How you do in the real world? If this condition satisfy, then I'll do some X activity. Otherwise, I'll do some Y activity. Same way in the system, when you want the execution goes one by one, and you want, okay, this statement will execute for a particular condition, and other statements is going to execute if this condition not satisfied. Whenever you want that kind of thing, we can use if else statement. Let's I'm starting with the if else, how I'm going to do using of my if else. Okay, and when I'm saying to use my if else, what I can do. Okay, this is the very basic of if else program, and if you have seen anytime any program, definitely you will get if else statement at least in a big class. Okay, many if else statement you will get. Okay, so whenever you are going to write if else, what you do, if, then what is your condition to satisfy? If condition satisfy, what you need to do, that we can specify here. Then this is nothing but your statements to execute on satisfying this condition. So if you say basic example which everyone gives, okay, if you complete these certifications, then only your company is going to reimburse your certification fee. If not, then you have to pay from your pocket. That's nothing but we can say it's a if else block. Okay, else this. Okay, so now when I say this if else, execute the statements to execute on not satisfying the condition. Okay, let's say very basic statements. Okay, we'll see how much complexity we can make this on if else. So let's see. I just want to check something here on my developer console. I'll try to use how I'm going to use if else. Okay, so let's see. I have one integer variable. Let's see. I say my count. I define my count equal to 10. I'm giving very basic examples. I'm not connecting to Salesforce database, nothing. So I just want you to understand these concepts. Then we'll see how we are going to play with my data or how I'm going to do something like this. Okay, let me know if you have any question till now. In the very any basic questions you can ask. Feel free completely. Lucas or Manas, Rashmi, anybody? All are clear?
Yeah, no devices. Good.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here on this if else, I'm just going to write one very basic program. Okay, integer count equal 10. And if I say if my count is 10, okay, then only I want to do something. Okay, let's see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to print one message here. Okay, system error. So I say I am in satisfying statement. Okay, very basic thing I did. I just initialize here and showing here, which is actually in the real time example, it no mean of anything. But to make you understand how if works, so in the if, you have to write the condition. So if this condition satisfied, then it is going to execute whatever I have inside. And if you have something to execute in the else part, so else what you need to do, then you can do else. It's optional part. If you have something to execute in else part, then you can write here. Or if you don't have any options to execute or any options to or any activity to do on else part, then you don't do. Okay. So let's see, I'm in else. So if I do this one, till the time my count is 10, what I can do? I let me execute. I can show you. I'll show you. I'm in the satisfying statement. Okay, same way, if I update this execution to I'm just taking here so that I will use later. Let's I'm in the count 10, but if I say my count value is 89, then what will happen? So count actually now is 10, but now when I'm trying to set count equal to 89, then what will happen? This condition is not going to satisfy. Then it will see after this if do I have any else statement? Yes, I have else statement. I'll execute it. But if you see the current flow, normal flow of execution, how it happened? It should execute this statement, then the next statement. It should continue the each execution line by line, correct? But now we control this line 4 should be executed conditionally. Okay. So if this condition satisfied, do this, otherwise do this. So we control which statement to be executed whenever my execution flow is going on. See, if I execute this one, I'll directly jump to my line number 7, because of the if condition not satisfying. If you see I came into I'm in else. Okay, so like this you can write if. So this is a small if. So now just think. Yes,
Is there
tell
a
me.
reason that you have 2 equal to's for 89?
Perfect. Very nice question. Okay. So now you see, let's see first what is this one equal to, then we'll come to this double equal to. When I say this one equal to, so that means I'm initializing the value to here. Like, so in any program, whenever you see, I'll just go here, like in the example, whatever I did here, integer count equal to 10. When you see 1 equal to, that means what is the thing you have in the right side that is being assigned to my left side. Okay, so in the mean, let me make a very small diagram for you. Okay, so whenever we wrote the statement integer count, if I wrote up to this much, that means what is going to happen this time. So on the execution, what happened? There will be one memory allocated, okay, whose name is going to be as count in the system. Okay, in the system, in the heap memory of the application memory, there will be some memory allocation happens to a variable or with a reference name as count. And whenever I wrote in the next time, if I go and I'll write count equal to 10, that means if you see 1 equal to symbol, that means in that count I'm assigning the value 10. It's like that. But whenever you see double equal to, so in this statement, that means the 10 value being assigned to count. When double equal to, that means I'm comparing what is in left and what is in right. Are they both same or not? So if you see, what is my count? My count is 10. And what is in right? 89. 10 equal to 89. It's wrong. It's not satisfying. So this means equal to, this means assigning. Okay. Any question, Rasmi?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. No worries. Okay. So now, see, this is a very small if else statement when we wrote if, then satisfying, then go here, or then go here. So now let's see. I just want to make a little bit more logic here. Let's see, if count equal to 10, I want to go inside and I want to check. Okay. So the number whatever I have, I want to check if it is divisible by 2. That means that means what I want, if this number whatever I have, this count whatever I have, if divisible by 2, then I can say it's an even number. Okay, or I can say it's even, then execute it, otherwise go to else. So simply what I can do, I can divide count by 2. If I do, what is my value coming now? Okay, so let's see if it's equal to 0, okay, or anything I just do. Okay, then I can do one more thing I can do here. I can print this statement. I'm just giving the small basics. So how I'm going to make the more statements which is going to be inside if, nested if. Okay, I'm inside count by 2. Okay, let's see. I'll tell if my count is less than 50, then I go inside. If it's less than 50, I'll make more simple example. No need of this individual anything. Okay, so don't be confused. And if my count is less than 10, then I'll execute this statement. Else, I will check again. If not less than 10, if my count less than 20, okay, there is a and symbol. I want to check if my count is less than 20 and count is greater than 10, then I want to execute this. See, I'm just going to make my if else statement more nested. That means I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say here, I'm trying to say I can nest any level of if. See, one if contains another if statements. If you see this highlighted one, it's just if statement. So if you see this if contains another if I want, I can keep one more if statement here. Okay, so we can nest it any level of if. If you see any classes, there may have any level of if statements. See, I can write also the system inside less than 5. I'll show you this how going to happen here. So less than 5. This is inside if less than 10. Okay. So let's see. Forget this and also forgot. If less than 20, then I'll go here inside else if less than 20. Okay. See, now if you see this example, I have nested of 3 ifs here. One if contains another if. The second if contains another if also. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, we can write if conditions any nested levels. It's nothing but if my condition satisfied, then go inside and do whatever you want. Nothing but if count is less than 50, I can come inside this much statement page. And inside that, again I can check if there is any if conditions is satisfying or not. If satisfying, then go on execute that part. Okay. So in this case, if I give count is 10, so first statement is checks count less than 50. So my 10 count nothing but the value what I have here, 10 less than 50. So can I say this condition satisfied? Yes. Then I'll come here. I'll check here count less than 10. No, it's not less than 10. It's equal to 10. So I didn't satisfy this condition. So I am not going to come inside here. Okay. Then I will check count less than 20. Yes, 10 is less than 20. Then I'll go inside and execute it. If you see, when I pass the value 10, what is going to happen? Let me execute it. Okay. So if I come here, it's a very basic of if else condition. See, I'm inside else if less than 20. Okay. See, then I have this one statement which is satisfied here. Okay. Let I just take this to here. So now, Rasmi, can you tell if I have value of 3 here, what are the statement I'll execute? When I execute, what are the statements I'll see on the log file? Here how I have this log file, which statements I'm going to see if I pass value as 3.
I think I'll see I'm inside 5.1.
You will get inside 5. Yes, you will get this. Then
and you also get the when it's less than 10.
Yes. So what means that means first it will check here. Let me explain here. So 3 is less than 50 or not? Yes, 3 is less than 50. Then my execution will come inside of this. So if I come inside of this, then I am going to print this one first, correct? It will print first I am in satisfying statement. Then I'll come again. There is one more if condition. So here it will check again. My count is 3. So 3 less than 10. Yes or no? Yes, 3 is less than 10. Then I'll come inside again. Then I will print this one. So first I am going to get this one. Okay. Then I am going to get this one for second time. Okay. Then I'll check 3 is less than 5. Okay. It's also satisfying. Then I'll come inside this. Nothing but can I say I'm going to get this one also. Am I correct? Then my this if part execution completed. Okay. Then my else no need because I satisfied if condition. Then I'm not going to else. Then I'm not going to this else also. So totally I'm going to get these 3 statements. Am I correct? Any confusion, Rasmi, or yeah? Okay. Is it clear or any question for me?
It's clear.
Perfect. Okay. So it's a very if statements. You have to see, normally remember always the execution starts line by line. Whenever you have a if statement, if condition satisfy, execution will go to the next line. If not, execution will go to else block. If there is no else block, then normal flow will go for the next statement to find. So same way. How many ifs we have? Everything will check, we go inside. Check, go inside. Okay, if in this case, if I pass 13, what is going to happen? I'll come here. My 13 is less than 50. Yes, I print this one. Then my 13 less than 10. No, it's wrong. Then I'll come here. I'll come to else part. 13 less than 20. Yes, then I print this one. Okay, like this. We'll flow one by one. Okay. So this is one switch statement. Okay. Sorry, this is my if statement. So like this, you can write any kind of conditions. Also inside the else also, if you have conditions, you can write again if. So what I'm trying to say here, you can do any level of nested if else on the program. Okay. So we'll use this if else for anybody writing the program in upcoming sessions. Okay. And also I'll give a very basic example of switch state.